We solved it. Orale. What's up, homies? Welcome to the adventures of Chino and Homeboy. Show them the book.
I don't know why you just did that.
Yeah, there you go. Just trying to show you how he's what is that? The what is it? The Timu version of Mr. Fantastic that's in the DC universe? Plastic Man?
Plastic Man, yeah.
Plastic Man. That's right. He's going to try and Plastic Man that shit. We've decided that we are going to bless you fans with a book reading of The Adventures of Chino and Homeboy.
Indeed.
A series that we wrote and is available for sale on Amazon. Now, as you can tell, I don't exactly have what you would call a sexy voice. So, Chino here is going to be reading The Adventures of Chino and Homeboy. Now, I don't know if he wants me to do the Homeboy voice while he's reading or if he's going to try and imitate me, but
I mean, you're just going to be... I'm just like David Fincher. You're like, hey, look, man, you have to be happy with what you got.
all right. If you want me to say anything, just say line.
All right.
Or, that's your line.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
By the way, this by no means indicates that I have a sexy voice. I just won by default.
Yes.
So, anyway, go ahead.
So if you're grueling right now, pace yourself. All right. You still got 10 pages we need to get through.
My man actually said grueling. Goddamn.
Hey, we can say that on YouTube, right?
I mean, they say skeet on the radio.
Okay. All right. It's not one of the 7 words you can't say on television. So, today's episode is called Uncle Rob's Time Portal.
Right. If you have purchased the book,
And you want to read along.
that's right. Go ahead.
Yes.
Also, if you have Amazon Unlimited or Kindle Unlimited, right?
Yeah, Kindle Unlimited.
It is also available on Kindle Unlimited. As a matter of fact, the entire anthology.
Yes,
the entire mega anthology.
All 5 books in the series are in the mega anthology. However, you do not get the bonus story. There's a bonus story
Right.
at the end of book 5 that only people who purchase the book get to enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get what you pay for.
All right, ready for this thing?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right, here we go. Uncle Rob's Time Portal. Chino sat on the couch, a man marooned on an island of his own making. His only company, the dull hum of existential dread, and the remote control cradled loosely in his hand. He wore boxers that looked like they'd seen battles few would survive, and a white tank top that was only white in the way that fog is clear. His gaze was locked on the blank television screen, an abyss so empty it threatened to suck his soul through the screen and into the void. He wasn't watching TV. He wasn't watching anything. He was waiting for life to make the first move. A knock came at the door, soft and hesitant, like someone uncertain whether this was the right address or the right universe. Chino didn't move. Not a twitch, not a blink. He stared ahead, challenging the silence to a duel. Another knock. Slightly louder, slightly bolder. The world trying again, and Chino still not ready to open the door. He slowly turned his head towards the door, as if the act itself was some Herculean effort of will. Then came the pounding, the kind of knock that didn't ask for permission, for permission, but demanded entrance like an invading army.
Chino, dude, your door's locked. I can't get in.
The voice was unmistakable. Homeboy, the human equivalent of an unplanned adventure. His words echoed through the door with all the subtlety of a car crash. Chino kept staring, not at the door, but through it, at the life decisions that had led to this moment.
Chino, dude, are you taking a shit?
Because clearly, The only logical explanation for silence was a man waging war with last night's taco truck. With a sigh heavy enough to tilt the planet off its axis, Chino hauled himself off the couch. His legs moved with all the energy of a condemned man shuffling to the gallows. He reached the door, fingers fumbling at the lock, as if it was some ancient puzzle designed to test his worth. Excuse me. The door creaked open, and there stood Homeboy, grinning as though he just invented electricity and couldn't wait to tell someone about it.
Fuck! I forgot my key again.
Chino blinked, the universal gesture for, I expect nothing and I'm still disappointed. Whatever. Homeboy stepped inside like he owned the place. He looked around, scanning the room with the eyes of a man searching for trouble or beer. Finding neither, he turned back to Chino.
Chino, what's wrong?
Chino collapsed back onto the couch, the cushion swallowing him like an old friend. Man, I got my huevita with another dude. Homeboy's eyes went wide.
No shit. You want me to fuck that dude up?
There was a pause, a moment where even the air seemed to hold its breath. Chino shook his head, his voice low and heavy. Nah.
Who was she with?
Homeboy asked, his voice sharp and eager, like a dog sniffing around for trouble. His eyes darted, hungry for a fight, because violence was always the easiest solution when emotions got messy. Chino didn't answer right away. He just sat there, a human lump of sadness molded onto the couch. His gaze stayed fixed on the TV, that black mirror reflecting nothing but regret. Finally, his voice drifted out, hollow and resigned. I don't want to talk about it. But Homeboy wasn't the type to let silence win.
Let's go kick his ass.
The idea had all the reckless appeal of a bar fight at midnight, but Chino didn't even flinch. He leaned back deeper into the couch, letting it consume him like quicksand. Nah, I'm too fucking depressed to beat anybody down. Homeboy stood still, his hands half raised in challenge, but there was no one to fight but apathy. He watched Chino sit there, gazing at the blank screen like it was a portal into the void. The room sat heavy for a beat, the air thick with unspoken frustration. And then Homeboy's eyes lit up, the kind of light bulb moment that meant danger.
Fuck it. Let's call Mary Jane. She's got hot-ass friends. Maybe one will let you smash.
To punctuate the thought, Homeboy humped the air, thrusting his pelvis like a man auditioning for a role no one wanted. But Chino didn't even crack a smile. Nah, I'm not in the mood, Homeboy. And that's when the silence turned thoughtful. Homeboy sat down hard, a frown forming like a storm cloud over his brow. He thought. He pondered. For Homeboy, this was the mental equivalent of summoning Everest. Then, inspiration.
Dude, we should smoke out.
Chino looked over, his gaze finally catching some spark of life. You know what? That sounds like a great fucking idea. Homeboy grinned, his body snapping into attention like a man with purpose. He marched to the cabinet, his stride confident, his mission pure. He opened the wooden box with the ceremony of a knight unsheathing a sword, and froze.
What the fuck?
Chino frowned. What happened? Homeboy reached into the box like a magician pulling the worst trick of his life. Out came a single note, no weed, just betrayal on a slip of paper. He handed it over, his expression caught between confusion and defeat. Chino unfolded the note and read aloud. The words fell heavy into the room. We owe you one stash of weed. Signed, Chino and Homeboy. For a moment, they both just stared, the silence louder than any argument. Because betrayal is one thing, but betraying yourself, that's next level shit. Homeboy squinted at the betrayal written in plain ink.
I thought we had a full stash of weed.
Chino's brow furrowed, his confusion mingling with frustration. Fuck yeah, we did. When did we smoke it? Homeboy blinked hard, scanning the room as if memories might be hiding in the cracks of the walls.
I don't know, man. You think we toked it in our sleep?
Chino sank back into the couch, his head pressing into the cushions like he was hoping to disappear into them. I can't remember. And so they sat. Two men, one couch, and a blank television screen that mirrored the look of defeat on their faces. It was like a moment of reflection, and more like it was less like a moment of reflection, and more like a tragic monument to wasted potential and empty stash boxes. Homeboy broke the silence first, his voice carrying a solemn truth learned only through years of bad decisions.
Dude, we should go drink.
Chino shrugged. I guess.
Dude, there isn't a problem in the world you can't find the solution to at the bottom of a bottle.
Homeboy added, quoting Uncle Rob with the sincerity of a philosopher whose wisdom came exclusively from bar tabs and hangovers. Chino nodded, resigned. True. Homeboy stood, the movement slow but purposeful. Dude, come on.
No, it's my line.
My bad.
Dude, come on. Get dressed. Let's go.
Moments later, Chino emerged from his bedroom. He looked marginally better, wearing clothes that at least suggested he hadn't completely surrendered to despair. But sadness was still there, hovering around his shoulders like a storm cloud, waiting for an excuse to break. All right, let's go. You buying? Homeboy's grin cracked just slightly.
Nah, I ain't got no cash.
Chino's expression didn't change. Well, I ain't got shit either. And with that, the universe added another check mark to its long list of disappointments. Homeboy's eyes narrowed in thought, as if the answer to their financial troubles might be hiding somewhere between the folds of the universe and the pockets of his torn jeans.
What about the birthday money your mom left you?
Chino shook his head, his expression grim. Nah, folks ain't giving me money. They ain't giving me money until I get a job. Homeboy scratched his head, his frown deepening like a pothole on a forgotten road.
That doesn't make sense. If you had a job, you wouldn't need money from them. What about your gramps?
Chino sighed, the weight of generational poverty pressing down on his chest. Nah, his social security check doesn't come in until next week. Homeboy, undeterred, fired off another long shot.
What about your tío?
Chino chuckled darkly, the kind of laugh that belonged to a man who always tried hope and found it wanting. Nah, man. That fool always wants to tell me stories about being an OG and shit. Fuck that, dude. The room was heavy for a beat. The kind of silence that lingered when even bad ideas were slow to show up. Homeboy stared into the void for a moment, and then inspiration struck.
Let's go to Uncle Rob's. He's always got beer.
Chino gave a shrug, a silent surrender to the inevitability of their lives. Cool, whatever. Uncle Rob's house was the kind of place where bad ideas didn't just happen, they thrived. The living room felt steeped in memories that curdled over time. Chino and Homeboy settled onto the battered couch, each craving a beer like it was their last warm thing in the universe. Between them, Uncle Rob sat like an oracle of poor life choices, his cane propped against the armrest like a battle-worn staff. The air was heavy with drunken comfort. Not quite camaraderie, not quite defeat. Just three men marinating in the kind of alcohol-fueled wisdom that would never survive daylight. Homeboy was first to crack the silence.
Dude, you should totally get even with that bitch.
The suggestion hung in the air, sour and sweet, like bad fruit you eat anyway because it's the last thing on the tree. Chino nodded because the idea wasn't just tempting, it was inevitable. I should, huh? Uncle Rob raised his beer, his grin sharp as broken glass.
Fuck yeah.
Chino looked at Uncle Rob, squinting as if the old man's words had emerged from a fortune cookie soaked in whiskey. What should I do? Uncle Rob didn't hesitate. His voice was gravel and confidence.
Fuckered you boyfriend.
For a beat, neither Chino nor Homeboy moved. And then they did. A slow, thoughtful nod that said, you know, that's not the worst idea we've ever had. But Chino's mind wasn't content to linger in simplicity. Now, you know what I should do? I should boil her pet rabbit in a big-ass pot. Homeboy's eyes lit up, part intrigued, part horrified.
That's kind of cool. 'Cause I've never had rabbit before. But that might be a little stalkerish. Besides, Pamela Anderson might have. Besides, Pamela Anderson might have you thrown in jail or some shit.
The weight of logic crushed Chino's impulse. You're right. Uncle Rob took a swig of beer, his eyes shifting into that foggy stare that meant a story was about to be born, or exhumed.
I was in jail once.
Rob began, his voice dropping low like a campfire tale meant to spook and impress.
Had to kill a man. We were in the shower, and he was eyeballing me fiercely. I knew what was on his mind. I could see his eyes were undressing me. His body was yearning out to me, tense, with the idea of making sweet love to my virgin ass.
The air in the room grew thicker, heavier. Homeboy's beer froze halfway to his lips. Chino's eyebrows crept into the kind of concerned arch that wondered how far this story was about to spiral. Uncle Rob continued, undeterred.
Once we were alone, he tried to make his move, but I anticipated what he was going to do and cold-cocked him with my soap on a rope. As he went down, I kept assaulting him. The soap shattered into a million pieces on his head as bits of skull flew onto the floor and washed down the drain. That's when I turned him over and made him my bitch.
Silence. Heavy. Thick. Uncomfortable. The kind of silence where even time itself seemed too awkward to move forward. Chino and Homeboy looked at Uncle Rob like he just admitted to cooking meth in the garage. Uncle Rob's grin never faltered. He looked at his beer as if I'd given him permission to tell that story. Then, as if the words hadn't left the room hanging by a noose of confusion, he asked,
Who wants another beer?
And there, on another couch, like quiet witnesses to crimes they didn't understand, sat three Mexicans, each holding a beer, each drinking silently. Their eyes said that they had heard things they wished they hadn't, but beer was beer, and free beer was holy. Mexican number one broke the silence, his voice casual, calm, like ordering a drink was a universal truth.
Yo quiero una, patrón.
Mexican two nodded, his English a little rough around the edges, but the message clear.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's supposed to say, yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah, me too. Oh, sorry. I didn't go Mexican enough. I didn't go full Mexican.
All right. It's good.
Sorry. I didn't go Mexican enough.
I was wondering how you're going to do this part.
Yeah, me too. There you go.
All right. Mexican number three just shook his head. A man content, already at the perfect level of buzz.
I'm good.
Uncle Rob grabbed his cane, pushing himself up with the kind of effort that said his joints had seen better decades.
Help me out, boys.
Without missing a beat, Chino and Homeboy downed the last of their beers, the kind of gulp that said they were ready for whatever the next round would bring, and handed over the empties. Uncle Rob took them like a bartender who knew the tab was never paid in full, only settled in silence and hobbled off toward the garage. The garage was an apocalyptic shrine to chaos and questionable engineering. There, standing like a monument to bad ideas and good beer, was a massive contraption made entirely out of beer cans, beer can boxes, duct tape, and a deep, unwavering sense of fuck it. Chino blinked. Uncle Rob, where the fuck did the Mexicans in your living room come from? Uncle Rob didn't even hesitate, as if the answer had been waiting on the tip of his tongue all day.
Home Depot. Where else are you supposed to get them?
Not with ice running around.
I know. Fuck you, Ice. You're killing my story.
Earlier that day, Rob's old truck rattled along the cracked roads of town, an old warrior of questionable maintenance. Uncle Rob sat behind the wheel, a man on a mission, a beer in the passenger seat, and trouble in the rearview mirror.
I was driving around. Sorry, my bad. Take two. I was driving around town looking for people to drink with this morning.
His voice echoed in the confines of the truck, personal narration to his own madness. The first stop was an alley, the kind of alley that promised shadowy deals and half-forgotten lives. Uncle Rob found a crackhead, sprawled in the concrete like some discarded afterthought of society. Rob gave him a nudge, a tap with the toe of his boot. The man groaned but didn't stir. Not enough consciousness to appreciate the offer of a drink. Not enough fight left to accept the day.
I drove for what seemed like forever,
Rob's voice said, drifting with the kind of awareness that only comes from too many empty streets and too many empty promises. Next stop, outside the liquor store. A couple of kids stood waiting for something innocent. Maybe a ride to school, maybe a friend. What they got instead was Uncle Rob pulling his truck into the curb, door swinging open with a creak that sounded like it had been borrowed from a horror movie. He waved a couple of beer cans at them like a shady salesman offering a lifetime subscription to bad choices. His hand gestured, an unspoken invitation. Get in. The kids looked at each other, confusion splitting into alarm, their youthful instincts kicking in as they yelled for help. Rob's eyes went wide. His foot hit the gas like a reflex, tires squealing as he peeled out, leaving confusion and the sour scent of burning rubber in his wake.
Then I drove past his Home Depot, where I saw these guys just chilling.
And there they were, a group of men waiting near the entrance, silent and patient, eyes shaded by ball caps and years of hard work. Rob didn't hesitate. He waved the beers like a cowboy offering gold, and without a moment's pause, the men exchanged glances, nodded, and climbed to the back of his truck with a kind of nonchalance that said they'd seen stranger offers and worse outcomes. The truck took off, loaded with beer and better company. Back home, Uncle Rob stepped onto his porch. The afternoon sun baked the concrete, but all he saw was the package waiting by the door. His grin was immediate. Recognition struck like a lightning bolt to his gut.
When I got home, the UPS guy had left me a package, and I knew immediately what it was.
Inside, the air was thick with that worn-out smell of dust, beer, and memories that stuck like cigarette smoke on a second-hand coat. The Mexicans followed him. Their curiosity piqued, but their manners silent. Rob tore open the package with the excitement of a kid on Christmas morning. If that kid was dead inside and powered by alcohol. And there it was, a flux capacitor, gleaming and perfect. No instructions, no manual. Just potential and danger rolled into one small, absurdly powerful device. Moments later, the living room had transformed into a temple of inebriation. Beers flowed, laughter echoed. The Mexicans leaned back, comforted by the universal language of booze. And then inspiration hit Rob like a slap to the back of the head. He grabbed a pen, a beer coaster, and began to sketch. Lines and scribbles that made sense only in the blurred haze of a drunken genius. The seed of an idea born in foam and poor judgment. The plan for something far greater, or far stupider, had begun. The garage smelled like spilled beer. Rust, and reckless ambition. Standing like conquerors before their spoils, Uncle Rob, Chino, and Homeboy faced the beast they'd birthed. It loomed large, a monstrosity of beer cans, cardboard, duct tape, and just enough reckless confidence to guarantee a disaster worth bragging about. Uncle Rob waved a hand towards the thing as if unveiling a masterpiece. That's you.
Huh?
That's you,
Oh.
Uncle Rob.
So, sorry, I got so captivated by the narration.
Let me do it again.
Okay, take two.
Take two. Uncle Rob waved a hand towards the thing as if unveiling a masterpiece.
So, with the help of the Mexicans, we put this time portal together.
There was a pause, filled with the hum of reality slapping everyone in the face. Chino squinted, his brow furrowed like the idea was punching him in the brain. What does it do? Uncle Rob shot him a look. Not a look of anger, but one of deep, ancestral disappointment. The kind that said,
How have you survived this long without a helmet?
still you.
I just told you. It's a time portal.
Chino blinked, undeterred. But don't you have clocks and watches for that? Homeboy nodded along, serious as a monk.
Yeah. I just use my cell phone.
Uncle Rob sighed, the sign of a man whose patience had been wrung out like a bar towel after last call.
It doesn't tell time.
The silence that followed was less confusion and more like the air itself was second-guessing the conversation. Chino, undeterred, pressed on. So what's it good for? Uncle Rob didn't blink, didn't flinch. His voice stayed calm, too calm. The calm of a man who'd seen things no one should.
I just fucking said it allows you to travel through time.
He made a wave-like motion with his hands, a universal gesture for mind blown. It wasn't effective. Homeboy tilted his head.
You mean like quantum leap?
Chino scoffed, as though Homeboy had just insulted his mother. No, stupid, it's like Stargate. Homeboy nodded, but the understanding didn't quite reach his eyes. Uncle Rob's patience cracked like an old pipe under pressure.
For fuck's sake. No. That's fourth and fifth dimensional travel. It's not like that. It's like Back to the Future.
Chino and Homeboy exchanged a glance, their expressions blank, lost somewhere between confusion and outright surrender. Uncle Rob tried again, as if explaining the concept of fire to cavemen.
It's like the time machine.
Chino's face twisted. That movie was lame. Homeboy shrugged, eyes distant like he was sifting through foggy memories.
I don't know. I kind of liked it.
Chino shot him a look sharp enough to cut glass. That's because you're tarado. Uncle Rob sighed, clearly battling against the rising tide of dumb.
It's like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
That did it. The fog lifted. The confusion cleared. Both Chino and Homeboy's faces lit up like the first time they'd stumbled into trouble they couldn't talk their way out of.
Wild Stallions rule!
And like true disciples of slacker philosophy, they launched into an air guitar performance. It wasn't graceful, it wasn't melodic, but it was pure. And Chino's grin didn't falter. Can we try it out? Uncle Rob looked at them, and then at the so-called time portal. Concern crept across his features, the kind of concern that happens when you realize you might be about to commit a crime against the universe. Homeboy leaned in, voice eager.
Yeah! Come on, Uncle Rob. It'd be cool if we were the first ones to travel through time.
Uncle Rob hesitated, his eyes flickering to a mangy half-feral cat in a rusting cage. Okay, fine. I was going to use that stray cat.
I thought that was my line.
Oh, my bad.
Take two.
Take two. Uncle Rob hesitated. No, let me take it. Uncle Rob hesitated, his eyes flicking to a mangy half-feral cat in a rusting cage.
Okay. Fine. I was going to use that stray cat over there. I caught earlier in the week.
He pointed at the feline, who looked as if it understood it had been volunteered for a suicide mission.
But you guys will do. It's not like I would miss you guys.
Chino and Homeboy laughed, though the humor was tinged with the kind of nervous energy that came from not being sure if someone was joking.
Uncle Rob, you're funny.
Homeboy chuckled. Yeah, Uncle Rob, you crack us up, Chino added. Uncle Rob's face remained a stoic monument of deadpan seriousness. There was no twinkle in his eye, no grin on his lips. Just the cold, unflinching reality of a man who may or may not be about to send his nephews into oblivion. That's page 12.
Oh.
I didn't realize.
Well, you're just going to have to buy the book and see how that ends.
Dude, he's just getting to the good part.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So, I like how you captured the Chino's morosity. Like he was depressed
Yes.
because he just caught his girlfriend having relations with someone else.
That's right.
So, yeah, that's starting off with the feels right away.
That's right. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you, but I'm emotionally invested.
I mean, I am. I mean, kind of want to read through it and find out how it ends,
I know.
which I already know how it ends.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually quite hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's great, but I apologize for the slip-ups there, but
No, that's fine.
I was getting quite the cotton mouth because I'd smoked just before, But
blame it on the weed.
like, what do you think,
yeah,
Homeboy?
yeah.
So what do you think your namesake and counterpart in the story? What do you think he was thinking when Chino said, "I caught my Wheaties cheating on me"?
I think he said it. Let's go kick that dude's ass.
Like,
I mean, that sounds like something I would fucking say.
yeah. So, how would Homeboy have taught him a lesson?
Like the dude?
Yeah.
You're going to have to read the book because he actually demonstrates it when they go back in time.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. So basically,
He actually does.
This
is quite a hilarious scene.
I'm asking all these questions because I wanted to illustrate just the kind of relationship that Chino and Homeboy had.
Oh, they're tight.
So
Very tight.
yeah.
Which is explained in the Military Chronicles,
Yeah.
which is also a series available on Amazon. All five books
Indeed.
on how they became tight.
And also, well, should I? It's also how they became tight with Uncle Rob.
That is also how they became tight with Uncle Rob.
Yeah.
And a whole litany of other characters
That's right.
that make guest appearances in the Military Chronicles, but are very, I don't want to say just important, because they are important in the adventures of Chino and Homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So characters that you find in the adventures of Chino and Homeboy, some of them you find as guest characters in the Military Chronicles, and also as Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Now there are Easter eggs in the adventures of Chino and Homeboy from the Military Chronicles, and vice versa. It's up to you to figure them out. Leave a comment if you find them.
What was that thing that we were discussing earlier that you said we should talk about in the show? Because it's talking about the process.
Right. Right.
I don't remember. I know I was going to forget.
Yeah. No, it's the. You were asking me, how do I keep everything straight?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, this is only the first episode, and it's only the first 12 pages.
This is the first episode. Because I originally wanted to make this a television show, right? But Hollywood wasn't buying. Even though I told them, look, I got a franchise-ready property. All the scripts are written, and this could be a great animated show. I asked friends to help me out, and Hollywood said, you know what? It's not our thing, right? I guess they're done with pothead TV shows and movies, which, I guess we missed the window with Seth Rogen.
But see, the thing is, though, the whole pothead dynamic is it's superficial.
Right.
There's so much more going on. It's just that,
Yes.
For comedic purposes and for counterculture purposes, the cannabis is there because, it's part of our fucking culture. I mean, I smoke every goddamn day, and these characters are inspired by us. So it's only there because it's part of the characters.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not the thing that drives the story. There's so many more layers to this.
There are plenty of layers, right? The whole pot thing is not the central theme of the entire series.
Right.
The central theme of the entire series is their friendship.
Yep.
And how tight they are. Like, that's the central theme of the entire series. But, fun fact, this is actually, even though it's the first episode, the first chapter in the book, it's actually the second story that I wrote. but I felt it necessary to make it the first story for continuity reasons.
And the first story that you wrote, is it in?
Yeah, it's in there.
It's in there. Okay.
Yeah, when we hit it, I'll let you know. That one
Wow.
I'll actually tell you. You don't have to hunt for the Easter egg on that one. I'll let you know. I'll tell you.
Yeah. So what compelled? What was the compulsion to create these characters?
It was a conversation you and your now brother-in-law had on the ship
Mhm.
about the most racist things you've been called,
Mhm.
I think, by Mexicans. Because it was a conversation we were having in Aft I See about, everybody's racist,
Right.
right? And I think someone actually said Mexicans are as racist as white people, if not more, because they'll
Mhm.
fucking tell you racist shit to your face.
Yeah, and that's where my name came from. They used to call me Chino because when I moved to the small town that I moved to, I was one of maybe 4 Filipino kids that I knew of. So they would always say, like, what's the phrase? Parece Chino.
Parece chino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
That's okay. Because what is it? There are Mexicans born in Mexico with Mexican heritage that will look Asian, and they'll nickname those motherfuckers Chino.
yeah, exactly. And actually, I don't know if you know this, but there was a thriving galleon trade between Manila, the Philippines, and Mexico, because they were both Spanish colonies,
Right.
and those two cultures are tied together.
That's right. Mexicans of Asia.
That's right. And there was actually Filipinos in Mexico right around that time, like when that galleon trade was thriving.
Right.
There were a lot of Filipinos that went to Mexico, or New Spain as they called it.
Yeah, there are a lot of cultures that came into Mexico. There was actually Japanese samurai in Mexico around the time of Abraham Lincoln.
Damn,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
News to me.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's amazing. You
Yeah.
can actually make a Mexican samurai.
That's right. If it wasn't for, is it true that if it wasn't for Mexico and Mexicans, there wouldn't be chocolate?
I believe so.
Yeah. So if you like chocolate,
Thank the Aztecs.
that's right. The people of Aslan,
Exactly. Exactly.
like this motherfucker. Yeah. But yes. So what about the other characters? Because
Well, Uncle
Obviously.
Rob. Well, let's just talk about the ones that we've met so far, which
right.
is
Yeah. Let's talk about
the
Homer.
Mexicans, which obviously now they come from Home Depot, so I don't have to explain them.
That's right.
And
Well, Ice fucking up our highlight.
that's
man.
right. Ice is fucking up our highlight.
Man.
Leave those Home Depot Mexicans alone.
That's right.
Uncle Rob needs them. And Uncle Rob was inspired by a shipmate of ours that we called Uncle Rob.
Mm-hmm.
He came from Washington State, right? Came from Washington State.
Yes.
And he was a tinkerer. He loved tinkering. He was very mechanically inclined.
Yeah.
And he was one of my best technicians on the ship because I was a supervisor on the ship. And he was him, Mono, Disco Dave were some of my best technicians on the ship. And because he was funny and the way he was, which he's not entirely like this Uncle Rob. He's much more jovial.
Yeah.
right?
He's not such a sourpuss.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not a he's not a
Curmudgeon.
curmudgeon. That's
Yeah.
right. He's not a curmudgeon like this Uncle Rob. Yeah. And I promise you that whoever plays Uncle Rob will voice him way better than I do. Because I'm not doing Uncle Rob any justice. Because the lines that he has, I don't know what the fuck I was on, but every time I read an Uncle Rob line, I am laughing hard.
Yeah, no, it's
hard.
funny.
He has just got the line. I don't know what I was on, but whenever he delivers a line, dude, I'm not doing it justice. Trust me, not doing it justice.
Yeah. No, it's a good character because it gives it introduces the chaos that Chino and Homeboy need, or not necessarily need, but they don't have to look for it. It's given to them. You know, so it's like a necessary engine. You know,
He does drive several stories forward. Yeah, he does. He does indeed. Now, we're not going to give away any of his background right now.
Yeah.
Right? Because he develops as the stories move along. But his background is fully explained in the Military Chronicles.
Yeah.
I know it's like we're trying to sell books.
Yeah.
But if you do buy these and you read them, just know that all the money that we make off of these books are to get an animated series made of these stories, because that's our ultimate goal, is to actually make these into an animated series for you guys.
Yeah, these stories have been works in progress
since 2007.
Yeah, damn near 20 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's our passion project. You know, like we've developed, redeveloped, and redeveloped some more. And these are the characters and stories that we've come up with. And we think that they're fantastic tales, they're fantastic narratives. The people who have read them have also said the same thing.
Yep.
You know, they're funny. Which is, I mean, I expected funny, but I didn't quite expect, like...
It's got heart.
Yeah, it does, yes. It's got an emotional center. It's kind of hard to see in that 12-page snippet that I read, but, you know, as you go through and progress through the story, you see it, you recognize it, you know.
And, by the way, I did go into writing this series with an overarching storyline and character development. All right. So it was all intentional. Everything was purely intentional to really drive the overarching story to its conclusion at the end of book 5.
Yeah.
You know, so it was all intentional, purely intentional. I did not write this series for it to just perpetually go on, because I just never liked that about American style television shows
where he goes on for 21 fucking years.
Yeah. And you just fucking just run out of ideas to, like, just keep that shit going, and, you know, you end up with ridiculous plot lines and stuff. So I decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna throw all the ridiculous plot lines in now.
Yeah.
That way I leave nothing. I leave nothing for myself at the end.
No, 5, like, telling a narrative in 5 books, in 5 seasons, if you will, with the amount of characters, stories, plots, and subplots, and having that complete, emotional arc and character development arc already in mind, I think it fit well in that 5-book, 5-season, arc.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't. It's not it's not too much.
Yeah.
You know, it's not it's not overwhelming. It's a good read. It's an easy read. And
It is actually. I was actually quite surprised with how easy it is to read. And granted, right? And we'll end this episode on this. Is these stories started off as screenplays,
Yeah.
right? And so there was action in it, but it was mostly dialogue
Yeah.
more than action. And then I made them into short stories.
Yeah.
So if they feel cinematic to you, it's because they started off as screenplays. Screenplays have a very solid structure. You got all of these beats. So if everything hits right, you know, and it feels easy and accessible, that's probably the reason why. Because they were intended to be an animated show, but since Hollywood said no, I said, fuck you. I'm turning these into stories and letting you guys decide.
It's 'cause
So
they're
you let
racist.
us know.
The racist.
Yeah, I know.
We're not, 6'2".
We're not Mike. We're not
Master Race
we're-
of Peace.
Yeah, we're not Matt Rife. That's why.
Yeah, 6'2", blue eyes, Master Race of Peace.
Yep, we're not Matt Rife. That's why. That's it. It's the only reason why we're not Matt Rife. But we're gonna end this episode right here. Tune in next time, and we'll be reading chapter 2. And what is chapter 2? Oh, yeah, chapter 2.
It's
That
aliens.
opening scene. That opening scene is that's a nut grabber, right? You will be laughing on the opening scene.
yeah.
And my shit got tighter as I was writing this. Just got to tell you.
The way you have to buy the book because the way chapter 2 ends is hilarious.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm able to laugh at it because it's funny,
Yeah.
you know. So and
We'll stop right there.
Yeah.
Watch the next episode.
Hey, fellow pirates, come and listen what I say. The captain is a tyrant and I no longer obey. I'm sick of taking orders from the madman in command. So let's drop him on an island and leave him in the sand. 'Cause it's a mutiny. It's a mutiny. It's a mutiny. And now we're taking over the ship. It's a mutiny. It's a mutiny. It's a mutiny. And now we're taking over the ship.